everyone, and welcome to Ascended Masters 101. I am so excited to be talking with you today about something that is very near to my heart, and that is, who are the Ascended Masters? So the Ascended Masters are the saints and sages and mystics who hail from all around the globe and throughout history, who have unlocked the key to immortality and who have graduated from the schoolroom of earth through the process called the Ascension. The Bible holds the record of Jesus making his ascension from Bethany Hill, where he was taken up in a cloud of glory. Elijah, when he was taken up in a chariot of fire, was making his ascension. In short, the earth is a schoolroom, and the Ascended Masters are the graduates. Now, of course, you and I are still evolving in time and space in this schoolroom of earth. We're walking around, bumping into walls, trying to figure out the meaning of life, what we're supposed to be doing with our time, with our lives, who we are, where we're going, how do we get there? I mean, these are the major philosophical questions of our day. The only problem is nobody who's here on the planet fully knows the answer to that because none of us have actually graduated ourselves yet. So now, of course, the first thing you think is there any way to contact or hear from some of these Ascended Masters so we can learn from them and figure out how we can graduate from the schoolroom of earth and make our own ascension? I mean, that would be amazing, right? The answer is yes. And I want to take a moment to appreciate how awesome that the answer to that question is yes, because it used to not be an easy process at all. Spiritual students who are wanting to receive these higher mystical teachings would often have to go through really intense trial and testing in order to be accepted into these inner mystery schools. The book Brother of the Third Degree by Will Garver does an excellent job of explaining this process and what it used to look like for people wanting to receive these inner teachings. I love that book. I just devoured it in like 2 days. So now, thankfully for us, it has been decided that the path of initiation that the Ascended Masters have followed back to their God source would now be made much more publicly available. This path is actually taught by the Ascended Masters themselves. Now, the Ascended Masters live in the planes of spirit, or what you might call heaven. They may teach unascended souls like you and I in cities of light in the heaven world. These are also known as etheric retreats. If we're fortunate enough to be accepted, our souls travel to these super incredible retreats of light while our bodies are sleeping at night. Some people remember their experience when they awake, but for most people, it's more of an increased sense of well-being, a clarity and a sense of purpose and direction in life. It could be insights into how to solve their problems or issues that they're dealing with. Now, for most souls on the earth, this is the main way that their souls learn and evolve towards their ascension. However, the Ascended Masters have made great efforts to reach the souls on the planet in a very real, tangible way so we can receive these teachings in our waking mind as well and hopefully make more swift progress towards our own ascension. And so, throughout the ages, the Ascended Masters have founded numerous mystery schools and spiritual movements and organizations that are dedicated to receiving and sharing these precious teachings from the Ascended Masters directly from the heaven world. Most recently, the Ascended Master El Morya established the Summit Lighthouse movement through his messengers Mark and Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And they actually required vigorous training from El Morya to prepare to be messengers. There are many levels of ascending consciousness in the heaven world, and in order to receive a message from the Ascended Masters, a messenger must be able to raise his or her consciousness all the way up to the 18th level of heaven. It's a sacred and a holy calling to be such a conduit for the Holy Spirit, and it is completely different from channeling or being a psychic medium that we see so much of in spiritualism today, and which is actually quite dangerous. But that's a topic for another video. So these messages that the messengers receive from the Ascended Masters are called dictations. Through their dictations, the Ascended Masters share with us not only the knowledge and the teaching that is needed to have our own victory over time and space, but also impetuses of light and love, support, spiritual gifts and dispensations. I mean, so many gifts to help us in every way they possibly can for us to make it on the path of initiation. I love this quote from the Ascended Master Helios so much. I wanted to share it with you. He says, "We are like parents rooting for the little league team and our sons on the team. We are tender and desirous of showing you that if you will practice and exercise in a 12-month cycle, you can be a greater master of your life and have more adeptship than you do today. If you realize how much we're rooting for you and loving you and teaching you and how present are the masters, you will understand that the greater mastery begets greater freedom. And freedom from the entanglements of the world gives to you the power to help others." That's Helios, volume 27, number 48b. I just love that. It reminds me that the Ascended Masters are just so right there, just beyond our physical sight, reaching out to us, loving us, encouraging us to overcome our lower selves, to master our thoughts and feelings, to become love and action, to embody peace, just to do all these things that the Masters teach us so that we can find our freedom and make it back to home base, safe in God's arms forever. So you've already been introduced to the Ascended Master Helios. The Ascended Masters have told us that there are actually many more Ascended Masters in heaven than souls on earth. I mean, that's just mind-boggling to me. So today I'd like to briefly introduce to you a few more whom you may already know. Jesus the Christ is another Ascended Master, as is his mother, now known as the Ascended Lady Master, Mother Mary. Do you remember the story of Prince Siddhartha, the one who attained enlightenment under the Bo tree? He earned his ascension and became the Ascended Master Gautama Buddha. Today, he is a great teacher of enlightenment through the soul's mastery of the 10 perfections, the 4 noble truths, and the Eightfold Path. He's also the sponsor of Summit University, which is a university affiliated with the Summit Lighthouse that brings together science and religion to teach the path of the ascension. As you can see, Ascended Masters are really busy and involved in the business of assisting mankind. They hold many offices in the hierarchy of heaven, and they themselves are continuing to evolve towards greater and greater states of godhood. So essentially, the ascension is just the beginning. So, to recap, the Ascended Masters are the saints and mystics who have earned their ascension by graduating from the schoolroom of earth and have returned to the heart of God. They are our truest and best teachers, and they show us what we must do to win our ascension. Some of the Ascended Masters we learned about today are El Morya, Helios, Jesus the Christ, Mother Mary, and Gautama Buddha. If you'd like to learn more about the Ascended Masters, I highly recommend the book Masters and Their Retreats. It is essentially an encyclopedia of all the Ascended Masters who have given dictations through Mark and Elizabeth Clare Prophet. It's a pretty thick book, and it's essentially a reference for life about what is known about any of the Ascended Masters. I'll post links below for the books I've mentioned, and thank you all for watching. God bless you.